All right. Hey guys, this is Move More, Worry Less. I'm Paige Festa, your host and the owner and designer of 13th Fit Apparel. I'm here today with my very good friend, Kim Seeley. She is an attorney at law. She is a CrossFit Level 2 trainer, and she's really big on passion and purpose. If you have followed us for a little while, you've seen our collaboration we did a little bit ago, Celebrate Diversity. And we made some pretty cool shirts, did a really cool campaign, donated some money to Project Onyx. So I'm bringing Kim on here today to talk a little bit about passion, purpose, mindset, those kinds of things. So Kim, you can say hi, I guess. That would be
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
I'm so proud of this podcast already.
Yay. So I guess let's jump right into it. And I guess the first thing would be maybe give a little bit of background on you and like who you are, like who's Kim?
Okay, so full name, Kim Seeley, as you've already introduced me. Born and raised in Barbados, currently in Barbados. I'm an attorney by profession. I say I'm an attorney by profession and a CrossFit Level 2 trainer by passion. And yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
All right.
Absolute dog lover, love to travel, wine, coffee, tea. It's me.
All right, there we go. That's it. That's Kim. So I guess let's talk a little bit about passion and purpose. Like I said, that's kind of what this whole podcast is about. And when Kim and I first met, we spoke and connected a lot about this, just like having purpose in life and being passionate about the things that you feel are your purpose. So my question to Kim, to you, would be, what is your passion? What is your purpose? And how do you see that for yourself?
I feel like this is a question that I ask myself daily, or these are questions that I ask myself daily. I believe that my purpose is to be inspired so that I can inspire and empower people that I come into contact with. I strongly believe that if I can inspire at least one person, I would have played my part in what I call the domino effect of greatness. Passion, I am very passionate about health and wellness. And by wellness, I don't just mean physical wellness. I mean mental, emotional, to a developing extent, spiritual. So just everything that, in my opinion, contributes to who a person is, not just how they look.
Right. So your purpose is to be inspired to inspire other people. And how do you translate that purpose into action? So
for example, I'm very passionate about CrossFit and coaching. And when I have a few clients, and when I'm working with those clients, I always seek to learn the client as opposed to just approach them with this blanket type approach, and see what triggers them and what language they speak, so to speak. I know how I feel when I am inspired by others, and I just try to impart whatever inspiration I have gained from other people onto people that I come into contact with.
That's awesome. So if people already follow you who are listening, or if they don't follow you, I'm just going to tell you that you've done a bunch of Instagram live series that have different titles that do different things. Is that one of your ways of spreading your purpose? Like, what was your idea and inspiration behind doing your Instagram lives? And you can go into a little bit about what they've been and what they are and those kinds of things.
Sure. So the idea for an Instagram live basically started as a result of lockdown. I missed that energy, socializing, getting out there. So I was like, well, this is the next best way to still connect with people distantly, right? The first one that I did was called Hugs and High Fives. If you know me, I'm a hugger, I'm a high fiver. I love that connection, that interaction. And I just sought to reach out to friends that I had made mainly via fitness, who were all over the world: London, Japan, Jamaica, the US, Canada. And have conversations with them. So create that environment to sit down and chat about how the times were affecting them. I mean, this is how you and I got to meet, because I had your best friend Shelly on, and we touched on a very heated topic in terms of racism and white privilege and everything like that. But the conversation was so rich. And I like that. You know, I like learning from people. That's how you become worldly, in my opinion, you know, exposing yourself to different people and different experiences. The next one I had was Sisters with Voices, and they were all women that I had met through Instagram, via CrossFit, go figure. And I felt very empowered by them and how they use their voices to advocate against different things or for different things. And yeah, they were just very bold women in their own way. And I felt, again, very inspired by them. So I did that series. And then finally, I did one called Fitness and Fatherhood. I'm a daddy's girl, that's no secret. And my father's always been into fitness. And it was very heartwarming to see these men that some of them I've known for years, some of them I met on Instagram, but you know, how they balance their fitness and their families and everything like that. So that was what Fitness and Fatherhood was about.
Do you have any more lined up?
Yes, I have another one lined up.
Ooh, when are you gonna do that one?
I'm hoping within the next month.
Yeah. Through doing these Instagram lives, they're very different in the guests that you're having, but I'm guessing you have an underlining goal to come out of all of them. And how would you describe that goal? I'm assuming it has to do with purpose, but.
That's a good question. I can't say definitively that I had an underlying goal.
Mm-hmm.
What I have realized though through doing them is, again, how much I love to connect with people from all walks of life. And I feel like my purpose is to bring people together. Because even with the Sisters with Voices, the majority of those women were in the US, but they didn't know each other. I mean, not saying that the US has two people and they should know each other,
Right.
but I'm saying it as a result of that series, people connected like in person. Right. They went and trained, like Annie went and trained at CK's box, and they thanked me for creating that friendship or whatnot. And I didn't even realize that I had done that, but it was a really good feeling to be instrumental in bringing together so many amazing people. So like I literally have a Whoop family as a result of like Instagram and the lives. And I've never met these people in person, but we interact in some form or fashion on a daily basis. And I love it.
Right. I feel like since I've known you, like the two words that and we've said it like 1,000 times already on this podcast, but the two words that I always associate with you are passion and purpose. But I feel like I want to add connection to that, because you don't always like talk about connection specifically, but in everything that you're describing today just feels like it's about connection. And I don't know, like that's how you and I are on this podcast together right now, is we connected over similar values and whatever. So it's just kind of interesting and cool. And I like learning about you because you are interesting and cool.
Oh, and I think you're absolutely awesome. So we know how this friendship, we're friends for life now, right?
Oh, I know. And we've met in person one time. And when we met, we weren't even friends yet, which is funny.
I know.
That's really funny.
13 fit. That's Shelly's friend.
Yeah.
I was like, hi. Yeah. Awkward, but hi.
Yeah. Hi. We know each other kind of. Yeah.
But I have to agree with you. I don't mention connection specifically, but it is a huge part of me. It really is.
For sure. I mean, I think there's a lot of things about you that, like, you're in CrossFit, and CrossFit is a connecting and community centric fitness
global phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like that is a big part of you. And then your Instagram and your Instagram lives, and just, I feel like the way that you interact with people, like you love connecting. And I mean,
I do.
it's definitely
I do.
awesome. Another thing we have in common.
Hey.
So your Instagram is at Fit Appeal
Fit
by
Appeal by
Kim
Kim Seeley.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting a little hung up there. So I just want to talk a little bit about Fit Appeal and what that means to you, because it's your brand. So how would you describe Fit Appeal?
Okay, so the name, first of all, came about, it's kind of like a merge of two things that play a big role in my life. So fitness is self-explanatory, and then there's like a double entendre to appeal. So appeal as in what caters to your senses, and then appeal as in a legal appeal, because I'm an attorney. So I kind of brought the two together. So that's how those two came together. I like to think of Fit Appeal as a platform of empowerment, and one in which you can redefine and challenge social norms, like what society says you should do. Bold, strong women have not always throughout history been easily accepted. But I think what I represent, I'm not somebody who's going to like get on Instagram and cuss everybody out or whatnot. But I think that I am a bold representation of strong, independent women. I have a lot of admiration and respect for strong, independent women. And those are traits that I try to adopt in my life. So that's to me, that is the essence of my brand.
Right. I love that, because it's also being a platform is a big opportunity. Like 13 Fit Apparel, we're hoping to be bigger. That's why we're doing a podcast and stuff, but it's like we're an apparel brand. But being like Fit Appeal by Kim Seeley, you can do anything. You just have this platform, and that's just like awesome. There's so much opportunity there.
Right. I don't have to limit myself.
Right.
In what I can do.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. Super cool. And you do apparel too. So
yes. Mainly tanks and tees.
Yeah. All right. My next question. So if anybody already follows you on Instagram and watches your stories, they see, or they could see if they wanted to go check it out now, that you go pretty hard in the gym and your workouts are pretty intense and you are like fitness goals. But my guess is that you don't feel 100% every day, and you don't feel strong every day, because you're a human being like most of us.
I was just going to say, I am human, very human.
My question is, how do you get through those days that you don't feel so awesome? And I mean, I'm also guessing you have a line where you're like, wow, maybe I shouldn't even work out today. Like, I got to listen to my body. So what's kind of your mindset when it comes to working out, not feeling your best, when to push yourself and all that?
So what I've realized through interacting with other people is that like working out for me it literally is a lifestyle. So whereas, people would always say, how do you stay motivated? And I'm like, this may sound cliche, but I really don't go on motivation.
Right.
It literally is a habit. Like, so say I have a routine, I want to get my workout done before 12 or whatnot. And then the days where I'm not feeling it, 12 o'clock would roll around, especially because Barbados is we're now coming out, but we've been on lockdown for a little bit, right? And 12 o'clock would roll around, and in my mind, I'm like, it's okay. There's no hard, fast rule that you had to have it done by 12, there's still hours in the day. And on those days, if I can, I would take a nap and just come back refreshed. And once I do that, I'm good to go, Yes, there are days when my body is like, no. And it is, I laugh while saying this, but you have to listen to your body, because I was one of those people like, rest days, no, I don't need a rest day.
Right.
But then your body, my friend Lee says, choose rest day before rest day chooses you.
Right. I
Yeah,
like that.
exactly, your body will kick in, or my body for sure kicks in, and it's like, nope, you need to rest today.
Right.
But I love to work out. Like, it's not a means to an end. It's a part of me. It brings me joy. People are like, Kim, working out hurts. And I'm like, I don't know.
But it hurts so good.
Yeah, it hurts so good. Yeah. So it definitely is, as I said, it's become a habit. It's just how my mind is wired right
Right.
now.
Yeah. I feel like, and this might be like a cliche thing that's always on Instagram, but I also like, I feel the same way. Like, it's not about being motivated, because out of the 7 days of the week, how many days am I actually motivated to work out?
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
one. Like, there's like a day where I'm like, yeah, I'm like really hype about the workout I'm going to do today, but I'm also working out at home by myself. I'm not a member at a gym anymore, because of obvious reasons. But
Yeah.
it's about just like dedication. Like, I know even if I'm not feeling it that day, that if I get it done 9 times out of 10, I'm going to feel good about it. There's like the 1 time out of 10 where I'm like, you know what? It was probably supposed to be a rest day because that didn't feel very good. But most times I come out of it better. I come out in a better mood. I come out feeling stronger.
Absolutely.
And if I'm like feeling like I can't get through the day, like work wise or something, after I work out, I'm like, all right, let's like get some shit done.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm definitely on the same page there.
You're speaking my language. I
Yeah.
definitely agree.
Yeah.
And then I like, again, the community aspect. I like that I can go on Instagram and I see you doing your workout for the day, and I'm like, yo, Paige is really good with these kettlebells, or that was a good squat. And I like that motivation.
Yeah.
I like
Right.
that community
Yeah.
aspect of it. It is you're not in this alone.
Right.
Everybody has their own little struggles and everything, but everybody is still pushing through. I like those little reminders.
Yeah.
Just keep swimming.
Right. Yeah. We're not all motivated and excited every single day, but yeah, like I'll go through and I'll watch your workouts and I'm like, geez. And then sometimes you'll post what you're doing and I'll like steal that workout. I'm like, well, there's some inspiration for my workout. And I usually have to scale it significantly, but I'll try to do it anyways.
No, exactly. Yeah. And I love that too. People post things, they're like, hey, that's a nice one.
Right. Yeah.
That's a nice one to cherry pick. I'm just gonna add that to the arsenal.
Oh yeah, for sure. I have like a folder or album in my photos on my phone, and I screenshot workouts from people's Instagrams all the time because I don't have somebody programming for me here. So I'm like, what's gonna work for me today? Like I'll do my own like weightlifting stuff, and then I'll get like my CrossFit stuff from
a Metcon.
Whoever's posting something on Instagram that catches my attention, and I'll just scroll through to like find one that works for me that day.
Love it.
I'm going to move into this last question, but I'm going to give a little background on it first. So I don't know that I've ever written this in a blog, and I don't think I even said it in the intro podcast, but the reason that move more, worry less is a phrase that we use a lot in 13th Fit Apparel comes from a campaign from another organization that I worked with back in, oh my gosh, it must have been like 2 years ago at this point. I did a pop-up shop with another company, Yummyware, and our whole mission was about body positivity. So we linked up with the Movement Foundation that helps like young women in body positivity. And so they came into our pop-up shop and they set up their campaign. And their campaign was, if you could give advice to your younger self, what would that advice be? And I wrote move more and worry less. And like I taped it up on the board, and I wrote it because that's like the first thing that came to my head. Like I was never into fitness. I wasn't an athlete by any stretch of the imagination. So movement wasn't part of my day-to-day growing up. I didn't get into fitness till my 20s. Probably when I was like 21. And worry less because I struggle with anxiety and all those things. So it was just, those were the 4 words that came out. And then
I feel like we should show our shirt.
I know we're both wearing it, but can't see unless I back all the way up. But so then a couple months later, I was in Alaska. It's when I had first left New York City, and I was developing a new collection, the Adventure collection, which was kind of shifting gears. In the past, everything that we've done is about like the hustle and like working hard and like becoming your ultimate self, but like the hard part of that, and like the journey and the struggles and all of that. So the Adventure collection was about becoming your ultimate self. Is not just about working hard. It's also about taking risks and having fun and enjoying life, and not always being so worried about like waking up at this time and working out at this time, and like enjoying things a little bit more. And I remember I was sitting in a coffee shop, and it like the whole thing just came to me. I was like, holy crap, like this is it. Like I remembered writing down move more, worry less. And I was like, that works so perfectly with this collection. People really liked it. So we've continued using it. And I don't know, the name, the phrase means a lot to me personally. And I feel like a lot of people connect with it. So then when I decided I wanted to start a podcast, I was actually out on a bike ride, just like and my brain was like all over
clearing your mind.
Yeah. And I was just like, whoa, I'm going to do a podcast and I'm going to call it Move More, Worry Less. And which works perfectly because I want this whole podcast to be about fitness and mental health and wellness and learning about those things. So anyways, long story short, it's taking me to my last question with you. And that's not necessarily what advice would you give your younger self, but see, this was advice to myself, move more, worry less. So if you were to give yourself advice, like now, in the past, in the future, like what would that be?
And it doesn't have to be one thing, right?
I mean,
just overall.
It has to be 4 words or less. No,
4
I'm
words
kidding.
or
No,
less?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You can say whatever.
I'm
you
like,
want.
I'm gonna fail. Allow yourself to be human. And that is very personal because I feel like I've taken on this role to be there for everyone and not allowing myself to be human sometimes.
Right.
Feel your emotion. I feel like I'm getting teary-eyed saying this, but feel your emotions. Like literally feel them. Don't let them, don't wallow in them, like, but allow yourself to be vulnerable and feel whatever it is you're feeling, because ultimately I think it takes a strong sense of self to navigate this wonderfully crazy thing that we call life. I think that without that, you will always be subject to something or someone. But if you have that grounding force, that center of gravity, that strong sense of self, it then equips you with clarity to go about your life. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the advice that I would give.
I love that. And I like that you said, well, I don't like it. I love that you said, feel your feelings. I'm reading a book right now, and it literally said like, feelings are meant to be felt, like you're allowed to feel them. And
yes,
I think that there's a lot of times where people don't think they're allowed to, like myself included.
I'm guilty of that.
Like if you're crying, somebody's like, don't cry, don't be sad, it's okay. And because I get that often, like if I'm upset and I'm talking to like my boyfriend or my dad or whoever, they're like, it's okay, like don't cry. But I know my process, and like I might have to cry and be sad about it. But on the other side of that, chances are I'm going to find a solution, and I'm going to be like stoked about my solution, and I'm going to like act on it. But I have to I have to go through those feelings.
Go through that process. Like I'm the biggest advocate for crying. I'm like, girl, you need to let that out. Do not, because if you keep holding things in, they will manifest themselves in an unfavorable way. I've learned that.
Right.
No, you need to get that out. It's a cleanse. It literally is a cleanse.
Right.
I remember reading The Untethered Soul, and they spoke about how we as humans hold on to emotion, whether they're good, whether they're bad. So you're like, you're feeling something good in your life, you literally want to bottle that and keep that there forever. Or some people just wallow in self-pity. But both types of emotions, or all types of emotions, like you have to let it flow, because if you hold something, it causes a blockage. And what happens with a blockage? Like the pipe can burst, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like you
There's going to be
need
a
to
flood.
let things flow. There's going to be a flood, exactly. So you need to let all emotion just flow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that. I think those are two awesome pieces of advice that I'm probably going to quote you on and like put it on Instagram somewhere, because I love that.
Like how I love move more, worry less. Like,
yeah.
yes, I feel
Perfect.
that.
All right, guys, that's what we have for you today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Kim, for being here. If you do not
Thank you
follow
for
Kim
having me.
on Instagram, she's Fit Appeal by Kim Seeley. If you don't follow us on Instagram, you also should, 13 Fit Apparel. And please subscribe. The only way we can grow this podcast and this mission and our purpose is if you subscribe and you listen and you share it. So thank you all for being here today, and we'll talk to you soon.